but definitely some patchy fog can be expected throughout the morning as we're taking a look here at a special weather statement that's affecting us here locally along 97 and 197. And areas like Madras and Warm Springs already experiencing some less than ideal visibility, a quarter mile or less in some areas. We do expect this to clear up throughout the day, but it's going to be with us this morning. So do expect more fog as you make your way throughout the morning. Now also some fog advisories in place. They're looking at one coastally in parts of the I-5 corridor and then also in southeast Oregon. Now the one on the coast there is set to expire around 10 a.m. and southeast Oregon set to expire at 11 a.m. In both cases creating less than ideal visibility and hazardous driving conditions. Now coastally it's looking like mostly below 1,500 feet, but wanted to keep you aware of those things just in case those are the areas through which you're commuting. Now let's take a look at our future visibility here locally. You can see a couple of pockets as we mentioned early here today that are already experiencing some visibility close to a quarter mile there, like I mentioned in Madras and Warm Springs, but also here locally in Sisters and Lapine. And the concern is in areas where temperatures are still close to freezing before sunrise, it could potentially turn into freezing fog as well. Now, throughout the day, here's a look at what's going to be happening with visibility. By around 11 a.m., we're looking at mostly clear visibility conditions, and it's going to continue to clear out throughout the day. Maybe a couple of pockets of fog will pop up here and there, but it does look like it's going to clear out throughout the afternoon today. Just something to be aware of as you make your commutes this morning. Speaking of commutes, let's take a look at your workday forecast. High 51 degrees in Bend. Wind going to be out of the south for the most part, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Very similar picture to yesterday. Not going to be all that noticeable. Early this morning around 33 degrees. Fog with us early, as I mentioned, coming and going, but should clear up by around lunchtime. As you see here, temperature 48 degrees, and by the time you're heading home, around 45 degrees. Sun setting just around 4:28 today, this afternoon. Now let's take a look at some weather headlines that you should keep in mind today. We do see those patches of fog, as I mentioned to you, in a special weather statement in place. Also some fog advisories across the rest of the state, so fog very much a feature this morning. We're expecting things to clear up and dry off a little bit later. It's going to be a mild day. We're still looking at the low 50s in much of the area. Of course, mountain snow is likely on Friday. We're seeing a bit of wintry precipitation coming our way Friday morning, and we're expecting it to be with us for a couple of hours. Hopefully we'll get between 1 and 3 inches in the mountain. Any snow is definitely good snow, as I know many folks are looking forward to getting their season started. Here's a look at your future track. You're looking at a mostly clear day today, but then by the time we hit tomorrow morning, as you see here, some activity threatening to make its way into our area. Not quite there yet as of right now, 9 a.m., but then as you see things throughout the early afternoon, a little bit of blue concentration here in the Cascades, and that's when we expect to see a little bit of snowfall. And as I mentioned to you, not a whole lot, fairly light, looking like around 1 to 3 inches. But as we clear out through the rest of Friday, it's definitely something to be aware of. Hopefully we'll get a little snow to report for you. Now some travel temperatures for this weekend. It's a very busy travel weekend, as I mentioned to you. Wanted some folks to be aware of some of the weather that'll be affecting travel, as you can see here in our region. Definitely going to be a little bit of activity, and then as we look at the East Coast here, you can see more activity as well. Now I wanted to also jump ahead to your 7-day forecast and give you an idea of what to expect here locally over the next week or so. Temperatures fairly consistent today, but then as we get closer to the weekend, we do see a chance for wintry precipitation. Temperatures dipping down pretty low into the weekend, and then by the time we reach early next week, we see clear conditions, and then middle of next week, a chance for more precipitation. That's been a look at your local alert weather.